Hello everyone. In this video, we'll see how we can use a macro variable in uh, identifying certain variables, making it easier for us to write codes. Let us see how does it work. Macro variable is a global statement. Please note that. Now let us look into the SAS Studio. Here is this macro variable statement. It's a global statement. We will be writing it in this particular syntax. That is, we'll be writing a percent let this is the command that tells the SAS that you are going to write a macro variable. Now you will be writing a dummy variable that actually you will be filling it within the a code, a step, or any statement, then the actual value that you would like to write. Now let us see how does this work. Now there are three different methods or three different contents to write or usage, you can say. You can have a numeric variable, you can have a character variable, you can have the numeric date variable. So each of them have their own syntax. Now when you use this particular variable in the global statement, you'll be writing it in particular way, but when it is used in the where statement, you'll be writing in this particular way. That is, number variable, if you have it, you'll be writing ampersand, and this dummy variable which you used earlier, you'll be taking it in all three cases. That is, macro where what is used there will be taken in all three cases. But when we write it after equal, for a numeric variable there is no quotation, whereas there will be a quotation for the character, there will be a quotation quote mark with the D symbol for the date. This ampersand symbol is must for all three types of the variable. Now let us take an example. In this case I have written percent let car type is equal to wagon. Now the proc print step is equal to I'm considering cars file from that herself library. Here I am writing where type is equal to and car type, that is, whatever value is associated with the car type here, that is wagon, will be replaced for type, that is type is equal to wagon. And the variables that will be printed are type, make, model, and MSRP. So I will also write one proc min step for the same cars file where type is equal to, here it is wagon and the type will be equal to wagon. You can change this for other variable. The variable used for means, that is MSRP, MPG highway. Note that the variable must be a numeric variable when you calculate the means. Let me select this and run. Let us see what we are going to get as the results. Alright, now just before we get into the result part, let us look at the variable that we have replaced. We have taken type is equal to wagon in both the cases. So the type is equal to wagon in both the cases, right? Now if you would like to change the variable name, that is type, to any other particular any other type of the variable, you can replace it here in the global statement itself. Alternatively, if you do not use this global statement, then at each and every place you will have to write wagon within inverted quote. Within inverted quote you have to write wagon here, and if you have many more such proc steps, then all those places you should keep changing wagon, or if you want to have some alternative to wagon, if you want to use some other car type, then you have to keep on changing it. Now let me look into the another example. That is, I'll be using in this case a pg1 library. So you have to run libname beforehand. Ensure that library contains pg1 library, and within that you have the storm underscore summary file. So that particular file will be called now. So I'll be using the variable base in name, start date, end date, and maximum mph, so that those variables will be printed. Now the rows, the where statements, look at the where statement now. The where statement, maximum wind mph, only those which are greater than or equal to 156, and base in is equal to NA, and start date is equal to or greater than to 1st January 2000. So this is the syntax which I have already seen earlier Now this is the case where I'm using under proc print. For proc means I'll be using a similar type, that is base in is equal to NA, start date I'll be using, maximum end MPH I'll be using, and the variable for proc means I will be using the two numeric variables. Alright, so if I run this particular code, that is in my case the lib name I have already created, and like pg1 library I have already created, and that exits. So let's look at the result. Yeah, so here in this code I have the maximum indent is 156 NA, right? So here I am. So here base in all NA, names, start date, end date, all those data which is as per the requirement. The maximum indent MPH which is more than 156. So more than 156 you have it, right? So we have filtered the information, that is proper. This is the case where we have used it again and again, the actual data for the variables, right? Now let us see how we can make use of global statement. Now for example I'll be using percent let is equal to wind speed is equal to max wind mph, right? Wind speed is equal to max wind mph, I'll be using it, and the base encode I'll be using NA, date is equal to the particular date. Please note that when you write the date it has to be in the format, whereas if you use any other variable, I mean the data type for the variables, then you can write them as it is without the inverted quotes also. But when you use them within the where statement, there for example basin here, so basin is the basin code, this is the dummy variable, basin code is the dummy variable, the value for the basin code is NA, that is actually it is basin is equal to NA within the inverted quotes you would have written, that is here this particular variable under the where statement you would have written like that. Now because of the dummy code basin code you'll be writing like this, so it is ampersand within the inverted quotes. Now here the wind speed, right? Wind speed max wind mph, earlier it was max wind mph greater than or equal to 156. Instead of this we have the dummy variable and wind speed, so you will be writing the dummy variable in place of the actual variable, actual values of the variable, right? Now, if at all you would like to change at one stretch, you can do the correction at one place. And here you have written all the dummy variables. Now, even if you run this particular code, you select all these values from percent let till the proc min step, you get the same result as earlier. Now let me try with a different basin code. Instead of NA, I will be taking WP. Let me see what happens. Now the basin code, if at all I use the original code basin, here I have to write the alternative WP, the second one. I'll be using the second one, WP. So basin codes, this information I'll get to know from the SAS library, that is PG1. When I expand the file, I'll get to know the variables, right? So I can get these values from the SAS table itself. So original value basin is equal to NA, instead of that I'll have to WP. At two places I have to replace. Now here I don't have to replace two places. Instead of that I can write here itself, instead of NA I'll replace it with the WP, correct? Yes, it is WP. Then I will select all the things, that is a percent let, three commands are there, then proc step and proc print step and proc min step. I'll execute the program. Now when I execute the program I'm supposed to get, alright, now I'm supposed to get a value, but don't think that this is an error. There is no observation which is selected under this condition because we have given the AND condition here. So if at all you give OR condition, let me change it to OR condition, since it is given AND, it is a mandatory condition. So what I will do is I'll just convert it to OR now. Now let us see if I get OR, because it's any one of that, right? So any one of the variables you should be getting it. Basin code should be equal to WP. Possibly it will take a longer time because basin code with the WP values are many more. So more the number of information you get, longer time for the processing. So it may take a while. Possibly there are large number of values, that is why it is taking longer time. Here we are, you can see that base in is equal to WP in all these cases. Let us look at the log. You will get to know. Here it is 1999. This many observations were considered for base in WP, and this OR condition what we have put for that 1999 data were written. Whereas proc means there is zero observation, because remember I have given AND condition, right? With the AND condition there are zero observations. With the OR condition there are any of this, so any of this matching, so it is 1999 it is listed. The important item that you need to observe here is the basin is WP has come into picture, right? That is what we had given here, basin code. So you can change any variable as listed here into the global statement, that is a percent let. Here in the percent let you can write any variable, change them according to the SAS table and check it out. That's it for this class. Thank you.